Oh, hi, I'm here. All right, I have two jokes for you. I don't have any interesting and creative way to start today's math lesson, so I have two jokes for you. These are my two favorite jokes. First joke: what is red and bad for your teeth? Give up? A brick. Get red, bad for your teeth? Don't chew on a brick. Second joke. Ready? Here we go. What do you call a boomerang that doesn't come back to you? You know what you call it? You call it a stick. Ha 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 ha. All right, yeah. So that's all the funny that I have for today. Seriously, this is my puppy, like watching me. Oh, there's my feet. There's my puppy watching me do my lessons for today. All right, so we are going to work on our adding and subtracting fractions. I have a little example I'd like to do for you first. All right, so I have the fraction 3 and 4/8. I'm going to write that down. All right, 3 and 4/8. And I'm going to subtract 1 and 3/8. 1 and 3/8. Okay, now if I wanted to do that, I've got 3 and 4/8. And I'm going to subtract, there's my little subtraction sign, 1 and 3/8. Okay, so the way that I could look at that is I could take this one right here and subtract 1 from over there. Now I just need to subtract 3/8. If I take away 3/8, I have left 2 and 1/8. Okay, all right. But what happens when I were to want to take away more 8s than what I had left? So some of the problems that we look at today are going to talk about that. All right. Okay, so the assignment that we are working on for today is Thinking Up, page 125. It's kind of a little, it says assessment concept check, so it's kind of like a midweek, hey, check up, are you getting what we're throwing down? All right, so let's look at number 1. Chloe painted her bedroom with paint she found in the garage. She found 3 and 5/8 gallons, but she used 2 and 2/8 of a gallon. That's interesting because my daughter literally just painted her room last week. All right, so it wants to know which equation can be used to find how much paint was left after she finished painting, okay? So one of the ways that you could look at that is you've got these gallons of paint. So there's a whole gallon, a whole gallon, and a whole gallon. And it's already broken up into 8ths for you. And then here is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here's her 3, 1, 2, 3. And then the 5/8. It's already been shaded for you. This is what she found. So this is what she has right here. And she uses 2 and 2/8 of a gallon. So she uses this full gallon and that full gallon. Okay, man, that's a lot of paint. My daughter only used like 1.5 gallons for her room. Sorry. So she used 2 and 2/8. So here were the 8ths. So let's see. That one she used and that one she used. And what was left is what we're looking for. All right, so over here, this one starts with 3 and 5/8, 3 and 5/8, 3 and 5/8. This one starts with 3 and 2/8. So right off the bat, that one can't be it because it doesn't even start with the right amount of paint. And then we are subtracting, and this one is adding, so that one cannot be it either, okay? We're going to subtract 2 and 2/8. Subtract 2 and 2/8, subtract 2 and 2/8. So both of those equations are right. So now it's just a matter of figuring out which one has the correct answer. So looking up here in our pictorial model, let's see what it is we have left. We have a whole gallon left, 1 whole gallon, and then we have 1, 2, 3/8 of a gallon left. 1, 2, 3/8 of a gallon. Okay, we don't have 7/8, we have 3/8. So this would be your answer. I think the reason that they put this one is they were going to see if you were going to add that 5 and that 2. All right, let's look at number 2. I'm going to read it and have you try it on your own. Marcy runs 1 4/10 of a mile on Monday. She runs 5/10 of that mile before lunch and then the rest after dinner. What fraction of a mile does Marcy run after dinner? So you're wanting to know what she runs after dinner. So it already has it broken up into tenths for you. Why don't you go ahead and pause it and use this to shade in what she ran total and figure out what she ran before lunch to see what she ran after lunch. Go ahead and pause. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so if she runs 1 4/10 of a mile, so this is tenths and this is tenths. So basically what she ran on Monday, this is a whole mile, 10/10 of a mile, and then 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is what she ran on Monday. She ran 1 4/10 of a mile. Now it says she did 5/10 before lunch. 5/10 before lunch, which means she did 1, 2, 3, 4. She did that much before lunch. Okay. What fraction did she do after dinner? Okay. Well, we know that this is the total that she did, and this is the part that she did before lunch. So we need to figure out what is left. So she's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. She has 9/10 left to run. 9/10. All right, let's look at number 3. Number 3. Carson and Savannah make peanut butter cookies. The recipe calls for 1 3/8 cup of butter and 5/8 cup of peanut butter. How much more butter is needed than peanut butter? How much more butter is needed than peanut butter? All right, so we are trying to find how much more butter is needed than peanut butter. So we're looking at finding the difference. We want to know the difference between how much butter they use and how much peanut butter. And we know that difference normally means to subtract. Okay? All right. So if I were going to take 1 3/8, I would have to subtract 5/8 to figure out how much I have left. So right in through here, we know this can't be it because it's adding, and we know that can't be it because it's adding. So you have 1 3/8 minus 5/8, 1 3/8 minus 5/8. So both of those have the right equation. Now it's just figuring out which one has the right answer. Okay? Well, this is not one of those ones where you can just say 3/8 minus 5/8. Because if I have 3/8 of something, okay, I'm going to get my little 8s. If I have 3/8, I can't take away 5/8, okay? So you kind of have to think of it like we do regrouping with subtraction. If I have 3/8, I can't take away 5/8, which means that I'm going to have to regroup, or I'm going to have to borrow from that 1, okay? So think about this as being 8/8. There are 8 of them here, okay? And I'm going to have to take away 5/8. Okay, let me see if I can do this with my, let's see, it won't zoom out very well. If I have 1 3/8, all right, let's take this off. I didn't practice this, so hopefully this works out. Okay, hey Morgan, here baby. My daughter just walked in, so I'm gonna get her to help me. All right, can you kind of video this for me? Ah, I got my finger over it.
Yes.
Right? Okay. So,
Video you or that?
well, kind of both. I'm gonna just.
Okay, you ready?
It's already on. You didn't stop it, did you?
No.
Okay, it's still going.
Yes.
Okay. I thought maybe you stopped it. There's no way to.
Okay.
There's no way to pause it again. Okay. So the problem that we're doing is 1 3/8. Here we go. 1 3/8, and we are subtracting 5/8. Okay. okay? And the thing is, you can't just do 3/8 minus 5/8 because you can't have 3/8 and take 5/8 away from it. I just showed you that, okay? So I'm going to set it up kind of like this. So we've got 1 and 3/8, and we are trying to subtract 5/8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Where's my other one? I know I have another one. There, 5/8. Okay, so I can't just take 5/8 away from this. So I have to think of it this way. This one whole right here is 8 of these. Okay, so think of it as I'm trading this in right here, all right, for 8 of them. Think of it as being 8. Okay, got my scissors. I hope I don't need these anymore. All right, so if I were to take this one whole, think of it as 8/8. I'm glad it's 8 because it's easy to cut. All right, so here's my 8/8. That's what makes one whole. All right, so if I'm going to subtract 5/8, there's my 1 and 3/8. I want to subtract 5/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I want to subtract 5/8. So let's subtract 5/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then what is it that I have left? Okay, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6/8 left. Okay, is that one of our answer choices? Ha! I'm so glad that worked out. There we go. Can you see it? 6/8 is one of your answer choices. Awesome. Okay, so thank you to my lovely assistant. All right. So think of it like that. You kind of see it. It's a lot easier to get. All right, so our answer was C. All right, here we go, and last one. Elizabeth records the time she spends reading a library book. She reads 3/4 of an hour before school, 1/4 of an hour during silent reading time in class, and 1 2/4 of an hour after dinner. Which number line shows the total time Elizabeth spent reading? So earlier this week, we looked at number lines. We looked at these number lines right here. And we were looking at how to jump on a number line. And here was the 0, here was the 2. If I think this one's broken into fifths, right? So if I started at 2/5, babe, if I started at 2/5 and I were adding 3/5, I would just jump up 1, 2, 3, okay, which gives me 1. So here has a number line. Okay. Which one of these shows the best time she spent reading? Let me go get my board. All right, so I like to write this down. And that's really shiny on there, isn't it? All right, I like to write this down. She'd had 3/4 of an hour before school. It wants the total time. It's asking for the total time, so I know that I'm adding. And she did 1/4 of an hour during silent reading, plus 1 2/4 of an hour after dinner. So we're going to be adding this together. If I've got 3 plus 1 plus 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6/4, and then there's the 1. So she read 1 6/4 of an hour, but we can't have 6/4. That's an improper fraction. So looking at this on a number line, how can you tell what number that would actually be? Well, here are the number lines, okay? So we're trying to find one that goes from 3/4 it jumps up another fourth and then jumps up a whole 1 2/4. So let's look at this one right here. All right, let's see. This starts at 1, 2. This starts at 3/4. Okay, so that's correct. Then does it jump up a fourth? No, it doesn't. It actually jumps up 1, 2, 3/4 is what it jumps up. So that can't be it. All right, let's look at G. This one starts at 1, 2. This one starts at 3/4, so we're good. And then does it jump up 1/4? 1, 2. No, it doesn't. It jump up 2/4, so that one can't be it. All right, let's look at H. Starting at 3/4. Yep. Does it jump up 1/4 to right there? Yes, it does. And then does it jump up another 1 2/4? Well, 1 is 4/4, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2. It looks like it might be that one. Here, this jumps up 1 hole, and another hole, and another hole. So that one can't be it. So H is your answer. All right, so be sure that when you finish this, that you go on to, is this today's right here? There it is right there. All right, make sure that you go onto this page and make sure you enter your answers so that you get your participation grade. All right, have a great rest of your day. See you tomorrow.